What is going on, everyone? I am back at SeaWorld Orlando today to check out the Inside Look, which is a special event that's only happening this weekend, which is May 11th, and next weekend, which is May 19th. And basically what this event is it's taking you behind the scenes of 6 unique locations, and you are able to do it as long as you purchase a ticket to get into the park today. So there's no additional fee, which is really nice. And it's this opportunity to go behind the scenes, backstage, talk to some of the team members who take care of some of these animals. And we're starting today at the Penguins exhibit, and I'm super excited for it. So what's also really great is that there are some locations that even on the VIP tours, which you have to pay to do, they don't get to go backstage to see some of the areas that we're gonna see. So that's super exciting. But enough talk, let's check it out. I'm super excited. All right, so we just did the penguin encounter, which is really cool. And the air system in there, so if you don't know, the Antarctic area is very, very dry air. Even though they have snow, it's super dry. And here in Florida, it's super wet. It's very humid. So they actually have to have a pretty big filtration system to constantly be changing out that air. And I don't think I've ever really noticed that it's a little bit drier in there, but I guess now that I think about it, it is. It feels more dry whenever you're walking through the penguin exhibit. So another cool thing that they told us was that with the lighting in there, they actually will simulate what the lighting is like in Antarctica. So when we went in there this morning, it was very dark, but the lights are starting to come up because the sun is starting to rise. They mimic as much of the conditions as they possibly can for those penguins to make it seem as real as possible. They took us backstage into like where the actual penguins are at and housed, where you kind of, when you get off the ride, you can see them, but we actually got to go back behind that and kind of come out from the backside, which was really cool. And they just talked about kind of feeding the penguins, how they take care of them. I think we're gonna do Shark Encounter next, and then we're gonna go over to Shamu. They haven't done a Shamu behind the scenes in 9 years.
But for Shark Encounter, basically what we use to clean it mostly is this is called a hull scrubber, cleaning hulls of ships and boats.
So we just finished doing the Shark Encounter here, Shark Encounter area. It was really cool to see kind of backstage of how a lot of things are done and how the operations are conducted. One of the biggest things that they show us is just how big the filtration systems are for some of these areas. Like for here, it's a 700,000 gallon tank or area basically of water, and they actually filtrate that through every 90 minutes, which is pretty crazy to think about. Probably the coolest thing was that we got to go up above that tunnel with the moving walkway basically, and kind of look down overhead and just see like all of the sharks that are in there, see the fish that are swimming around. And then they told us kind of how they like do all the feeding, right? Because I always thought, and I heard somebody else saying it too, is that why aren't the sharks eating the fish that are in the fish tank, right? Because they're portrayed as like these vicious beasts that are just swimming around, and it's just craziness. But they keep the sharks so well fed that they don't really have the need to do that. And usually whenever you see a lot of splashing and things going on, that's actually their redfish that are in there just going all at it. So the sharks are actually fed individually. They use like a little hook claw thing, and it goes down, the sharks take it and they swim away. And then they have like a medical area where they kind of bring the sharks in and they take care of them, and they check them out, and everything for them is always about safety first for the animal and for themselves. So it's a really cool experience. Awesome to learn about it. But now I think we're gonna head over to Shamu, because Shamu, like I said, has not been shown for like 9 years. So I'm super excited for this. I don't know what to expect other than to see something really, really cool. All right, well, that is going to do it for me today. The last one that we did was Shamu. That backstage experience was awesome. We got to go back in behind where they actually do the big show, kind of see the orcas swimming around in there, talk to some of the trainers. And I think what the best part about that too was that we went in just as the show was getting ready to get started. So you kind of got to see the whales. They were just kind of swimming around, playing with some of their toys. And then as the show was actually getting ready to start, you could kind of see them. They were kind of getting, like, you know, worked up, like they're getting ready, you know, like they know the show's getting ready to start, they're ready to start. But I think the most important thing is that they really want people to know that if the orcas are not willing to do the show that day, that they're not going to make them actually do that. They have a whole whiteboard that's set up with the whales and with the trainers, and every day is a different day. And if for some reason they're not wanting to do it, they're not going to make them go out there and try to do something that they don't want to do. I think that's what is most important in taking care of these animals, is that aspect of respecting kind of what their feelings are and what they want to do. And it's pretty cool, you know, just to get to go back there and just see them. They have a huge, multiple areas of poles that are set up. They can swim all over the place, but it was a lot of fun. So they have 6 locations here. It's going on next weekend as well, and I think that that's it. Just 2 weekends this time. So they do amazing stuff. I always say they don't get the credit that they deserve. But this whole thing is awesome. So if you have an opportunity, I definitely encourage you to come check it out. We might come back and check out the other 3. I don't know, we'll see. But if you haven't been to SeaWorld, or if you're planning to come to SeaWorld, let me know down in the comments below. And would you be interested in taking a behind the scenes tour and not actually have to pay for it, because it's just included with your admission? So one thing I forgot to mention before we leave, to make sure that you get your map here and you get it stamped 3 times, because then you can get your, is it the same one? I think it is.
I think so. Is that the same one?
I think it is. It's the same pin, but you basically get your map stamped 3 times. You can go into the SeaWorld Rescue Center and get a free pin.